We made some shots and free throws down the end. They missed a couple shots. I told Kermit, he's done such a wonderful job. I've watched everybody that comes in here, you either lose or you're lucky to get out alive. They played with unbelievable energy to start the game, and my hope was that please tell me they can't do this for 40 minutes, because they were cutting, flying, running. They had 10 points in transition, and they weren't breakouts. Like, we were all running back, and their man just outran us and shot a layup. I told the guys, you're not going to win the game unless you get back on defense. You cannot give them layups. I thought Nick and EJ, their length kind of bothered them a little bit. But the biggest thing for us in the second half, obviously, PJ had foul trouble, and then he came out in the second half. And I told him at halftime, we're throwing it to you every time. So you be who you're supposed to be. And he was.
Yeah, what have you thought about the minutes Emmanuel's given you these past 3 games?
Emmanuel's been unbelievable. I mean, plus, you know, either he was going to get it or Tyler was going to get those last free throws, one of the two, because you know you can count on them to make free throws. But he's been terrific. He's growing. He's getting better. His mind is slowing down. He's, you know, early on his mind just raced. He couldn't really slow the mind down to be able to do the things he's capable of doing.
John, you all shot, I think, 55% from the field, pretty efficient in the paint and everything. Why did you think the offense was kind of, you know, looked like a lot of good looks out there?
Yeah, we must have guarded them in the second half because they had 50 in the first half, and the ones they missed in the second half, they were open. It wasn't a great defensive performance by either team, to be honest. And you know, we were even thinking about maybe trapping pick and rolls because they were beating us so bad. So believe me, that was being talked about. Let's just trap and make these big guys beat us because these guards are killing us. They're scoring at will. But you know, again, it was to go on the road in this league and win. To go on the road and have your best player out the first half, just like last game, and then have Reed out, and to be able to win, believe me, I'm happy. I'm happy, especially this team. This is an NCAA tournament team. Now, make no bones about it. This team is an NCAA tournament team, and they could do damage, and they could do damage because they can beat you on the bounce. They can beat you shooting threes. They proved they could throw it inside against us. They're good.
Cal, PJ's foul trouble early the last 2 games have anything to do with Reed not being there, or is it just something he's not doing that he wasn't before that?
I don't know. I have to watch the tape.
John Keldon and Tyler kind of had a revival from the last game to this game. Is that a competitive thing they have? You know,
they want to do well. They want to do well. I mean, you had one guy, one of them apologized to me for, you know, something that was said, and the other apologized. I played better. I said, I'm not worried about you apologizing for play. It's your attitude. Everybody's got to grow up. And I said to him, when you're a child, you act like a child. When you're a man, you leave all those child things behind. Now, you're either a man or you're a child. How do you respond to this stuff? You know, it's hard too because you're at Kentucky. Every game is someone's Super Bowl. Every game is sold out. Every game is the biggest game. And if we lose a game, oh my God, the world ends. And then you also got the clutter that they're hearing about you're the best player, you should take the most shot. All the stuff that they're all hearing it. And they got to deal with all that, and they're 19-year-olds. Most of the time we had 4 freshmen on the court. Most times we had 5 freshmen on the court, 5 freshmen. And so I told them yesterday, I respect what these guys deal with because I couldn't have dealt with it as a 19-year-old. No way. No. And then perform, and then play to win and not worry about losing like they did at the end of this game. They played to win. Got a good group of kids.
Cal, when Reed does come back, is it a situation where he's rested or is he out of basketball shape a lot because he's been gone so long?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm not going to count on him for Friday or Saturday. I'm just not. And if he says, hey, I think I can go and he can practice a couple days, maybe shove him in a little bit, let him get his feet underneath him, see how he does. Maybe not, but I'm not afraid not to play him. I mean, this is about his health. The issue sometimes is you're okay to go, but you're just uncomfortable or you're a little bit afraid of it. His is not, thank God, his injury is not that one that's, you know, he's sprained his knee. But it's still, it's a scary thing for these kids.
John, you started the EJ tonight in the spot, and the other games, except for Tennessee, when Nick started, was that trying to match their physicalness?
It was just, I thought he could play Williams better than EJ, and that's the only reason I did it.
During the Tennessee game, you kind of said Tyler wasn't listening to you. Was he listening to you today?
Yeah, but again, look, there's certain things that we do and that we drill and how we're gonna play. And those are the things that drive me nuts, that we went, you know, that everything we do is with two hands. If a guy tries to grab a ball with one hand, I lose my mind. And the reason is, for 5 months, it's all we talk about, every drill and everything. We're not losing a game because you're gonna go after a ball or a rebound with one hand. We're not. We may lose another way, it's not gonna be that. Driving baseline. You pull up and shoot it unless it's a dead layup. You pull up and shoot it because you're going into traffic. Those are every day in practice. Pull up and shoot it. I'm not telling you don't shoot. Drive baseline, pull up and shoot it. You're not getting to the rim. They're gonna jam you down. There's nothing down there. You're not that kind of guy, and no one really is. So there are certain things that in the heat of the moment they will revert, and there's slippage. And the slippage goes back to high school, like the play he tried to steal with 15 seconds to go. By trying to steal and not getting it, you gave them a three and gave them a chance to beat us. Why did you try to steal it? That's a high school move. You're not trying to steal it. We're just going to stay in front and make them take a tough shot. Those are all things that, you know, that I talk about after the game and we show on tape. But let me say this, I got great kids. These are, every one of them, top to bottom, and we're on them. I mean, like, we're coaching them. There's no, like, just clapping on the side. I mean, we're like, if we're asking you to do something, you don't do it, you're gonna hear about it, we're gonna hold you accountable. Also gonna tell you how much we love you, how proud we are of you, and all that stuff, but we're gonna hold you accountable. And that's why I said, you gotta grow up coming here. This is one that, you know, it's not easy.
Now, a lot of years you've been here, you kind of backed off how hard you go late in the year. Have you been able to do that this year? Or you have
The only thing I'm not being able to do as much as I'd like to be able to empower them more offensively so that I don't have to lead what they're doing. And we're not quite there yet. So we got a couple weeks to figure out, you know, without calls, what do we run? And I'm still literally trying to, I put new stuff in today for today's game. None of you would know it because you're not, you don't know basketball, but I put in a couple different offenses today that we tried. And, you know, and they both work, by the way. And so we're still tweaking, experimenting with stuff. We got to get PJ on the other side of the floor. So instead of just the left side facing, I wanted him on the other side. So we did something to get him over there. Now that if you go back and watch the tape, you'll know what I did or what I had the players do.
One more, guys.